Welcome back to the Olympics in East London, and the torch is just a dozen miles south of here now. But we don't yet know who will carry it into that stadium. What we do know, though, is that Sir Chris Hoy will carry the British flag in Friday's opening ceremony. Sir Chris, who's won 4 Olympic gold medals in cycling, was given the honour after a poll of the British Olympic team. And despite his multiple medals and awards, he says this is his biggest accolade.
I can't think of, a bigger honour for an Olympian to be able to lead out the team into a home Olympics. It really is something very special, indeed, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I was quite blown away when I heard the news yesterday, and to be voted by your fellow athletes, it means a great deal, and I'm very much looking forward to the opening ceremony now.
Well, Chris Hoy's teammate and Britain's first ever Tour de France champion, Bradley Wiggins, is back in the country to prepare for his Olympic challenge this weekend. Wiggins will spend a couple of days relaxing with his family before joining his cycling teammates on Wednesday. He says he's been simply overwhelmed by yesterday's victory.
It's a little bit overwhelming. I didn't really expect all this, and obviously I've seen a few of the papers today, so it's fantastic. It really is.
So what happens if you turn up wearing a Pepsi t-shirt when one of the Olympic sponsors is Coca-Cola? Well, the head of the International Olympic Committee says you will be allowed in. But there are incredibly strict rules in place to protect the companies who are paying £1.4 billion between them to sponsor the Games. So what exactly does all that money buy them? Our reporter, Porrick O'Brien, has been finding out.
Get the corporations out of the Olympics, please! The Olympics are corrupt! Stop the sinning!
Corporate sponsorship and the Olympics. It doesn't half get some people going. Reverend Billy Talon is a comedian activist, his character an evangelical-style anti-consumerism preacher.
This is the world coming together. So it has a very special, sacred, human feeling. And no, it should not be the grounds for corporations coming in. Amen. Praise be.
Do you work for a corporation?
He was in London last week doing a gig. At exactly the same time as this outburst, Coca-Cola's entertainment centre was being launched in the Olympic Village.
Despite the hoo-ha there's been over branding in the Olympics, there's actually very little in-your-face advertising in the Olympic Village itself, and there's none in the sporting venues. Step outside of the park though, and this isn't billboard advertising, this is landscape advertising.
So, how much are corporate sponsors contributing? When you take away the price of building venues and infrastructure, the bit that we the taxpayer pays for, the cost of actually staging the London Olympics is about £2 billion. Domestic sponsorship from companies like Adidas, BP and Lloyd's TSB covers 750 million of that figure. The rest is made up of merchandising, ticket sales and money from the International Olympic Committee. There's also the giant global sponsors, people like Omega and McDonald's. Today, the head of the Olympics movement was at an event in Omega's new shop in Westfield.
Can you put a price tag on what you put into the sponsorship pot?
I tell you, everything we get back from it is worth twice what we put out.
So no, you can't.
I cannot.
It's enormous though. About a third of Omega's entire marketing budget is ploughed into the Olympics. What do you get for your money though? Exclusive use of Olympic words and symbols for one thing, which brings us to the burning "what do I wear to the Games" question.
So if a punter arrives with a Pepsi t-shirt, what happens?
He or she will be allowed into the park. They will only not be allowed into the park if they come as part of a group and an individual's clothing turns into ambush marketing. It's a very straightforward rule, this. It's put in place to protect the value of the sponsor's investment in the Games, over £700 million for London.
You heard it here from Reverend Billy.
According to the prophecies of the Reverend Billy,
there will be a non-commercial Olympics, children, in our lifetime.
and that will be a very small Olympics indeed.